Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Shred Takes podcast show. I'm your host, Mike Shredder. Before you engage in this episode, I'd love for you guys to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications for more episodes and get informed about more episodes that come out on the YouTube as well as Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I would really appreciate it if you guys would do that. Today we got a great show. So we got a lot of stuff I want to talk about today and just different stuff across the sports realm that we can talk about and discuss. So we got a whole lot of show to talk about. I actually am basing the show off of different comments and suggestions that people have given me about topics they want me to talk about. So I'm going to go into those comments right now. I'm going to look at them and we're going to discuss different topics. So let's go into these comments that people have made. I'm going to look at them. So, okay. People want me to talk about, can the Warriors repeat? Donovan Mitchell to the Knicks, as well as world championships of track. All right, those will be the three things I'm going to talk about then. So let's start with the first thing. Can the Warriors repeat? Well, absolutely. To answer, this is brought to you by Issa McGuire, so I'm going to be, thankful in that. But I think that the Warriors can definitely repeat. I think they can definitely repeat because I think that they have the talent to do so. I think that the younger pieces have really developed. I think that you look at guys like Jonathan Kuminga. I think that his development in summer league has been really nice to see. His ability to kind of just show his ability to defend multiple positions, his ability to slash to the basket, and being aggressive and having confidence. He's going to be a guy who can be a future star in this league. And don't get me about it. He has that potential. And I think within the Warriors system, he will get the proper development to make that happen. So that is step number one. I really like what he's done. And I look at James Wiseman, his ability to switch 1 through 5, his length, his athleticism, his ability to run the floor, hit a 15 to 17-foot jumper, potentially a three, be great in those lob situations with a guy like Draymond Green, Steph Curry, when they get to the lane, Jordan Poole, those guys, right? I like that addition. I like the excitement that Mac McClung brings, right? So the Summer League, and then you also have to look at Moses Moody, who I like a lot too. And then they still have Jordan Poole, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Andrew Wiggins. This team is good enough to beat anyone in the Western Conference. They should be the favorites in the West, them and the Clippers. And I look at that and say, they definitely have a chance to repeat. I like the Celtics over them right now because I like the Celtics additions of Gallinari and Malcolm Brogdon to the fold. So I really like those additions. From that angle, that's where I kind of go with it and look at it. But that is my 2 cents about it, right? So can the Warriors repeat? Absolutely, they can repeat. And I think they're going to be in the finals again next year because I believe in their culture. I believe in their squad. And I think another year, those younger players get a chance to develop. I like that. Now, losing Gary Payton II and losing losing Otto Porter Jr. are definitely losses. But I think these younger guys are ready to take that on. And I still think they're good enough to get to the NBA championship and potentially win it. So to answer Issa's question, yes, the Warriors can win an NBA championship. Now, Donovan Mitchell to the Knicks trade package. Well, that is pretty interesting to talk about. I have mentioned this before. Look, I think Donovan Mitchell will be a very good fit in the Knicks. Him, RJ Barrett, with Jalen Brunson. I like that team to be able to be a team that can be relevant in the Eastern Conference, right? They would be a team that probably lose in the first or second round of the Eastern Conference, but they'd be a playoff team every year with Donovan Mitchell. Right, Donovan Mitchell is a guy who's averaged 30 points a game in the last couple of years in the playoffs, but he is also a guy that has trouble with understanding the rhythm of games with his team. He's not a great defender, and a lot of times he's a bad shot taker. But overall, he's one of the better players in the game, top 20 player in the game. And I think if you add him to any team, they're instantly going to be a better team. So the trade package the Knicks have to make, the one that the Jazz asked for was 6 players and 6 first-round picks, was ridiculous. I have to go and say that you should give up Julius Randle, maybe Obi Toppin, and Emmanuel Quickly, and Quentin Grimes maybe something around those lines, and maybe a couple of draft picks for Donovan Mitchell. That would be the trade package I would look for, right? Giving away some of the younger pieces, that's fine. Maybe if you can keep Obi Toppin, get rid of Randall, Grimes quickly, and some draft picks, because the Knicks have a bunch of draft picks they can give, but you can't get rid of Barrett. You can't get rid of Mitchell Robinson. I think those guys are too valuable. But if you got rid of Randall, even though I like Julius Randall, maybe that would be a good fresh start for Julius Randall in Utah. So I look at all that, and I think that is a trade package that I look at and say that could work out. Now, how would that work out for the Knicks? Well, the Knicks would get a chance, like I said, to be a playoff contender, be a playoff championship level team, and that would help them in the future as they continue to try to progress and become a better team going forward. So that is step number 2 in terms, or is just they would be a team they would have to get rid of Julius Randle and probably some younger pieces and some draft picks. And then number 2, they would have to embrace the fact that they might not be the best defensive backcourt, but they would be a much better offensive backcourt than they have been in past years. And this would take less pressure off R.J. Barrett and allow Jalen Brunson and Donovan Mitchell to be really the 2 lead guards and all this. And they would be a team that could definitely make the playoffs and, be a little bit of a, for lack of a better term, a feisty kind of team, a team that, is pesky and can cause a little bit of problems for some teams. But really, ultimately, they're going to be a team that probably, ceiling second round, probably going to be a first-round team if they got Donovan Mitchell, right? So there it is. Now, the World Championship of Track. Troy, thank you for this. I actually don't follow this too closely, but I'm happy to oblige in this and look at all this. So, according to NBC Sports, there's a lot of incredible records that were broken, right? So in the women's 100, you got to look at Donna Asher-Smith from Great Britain, but you have to look at the who finished 4th, but you have to look at Shelly Ann Fraser-Price from Jamaica. 10.67, incredible record. Shows, again, the amazing athleticism and track from the country of Jamaica. I just think, personally, this is one thing that makes track so special, right? For those who don't know, Troy's actually going to be, competing for University of Colorado next year. And, track is a huge passion of his. And he's talked about this greatly and how – and I've talked about, this with my trainers and stuff like that. Track is a sport where you really get to see some of the best athletes in the world, right? So Shelly Ann Fraser-Price, Sharika Jackson, and Elaine Thompson-Hara. 3 players in the women's 100 from Jamaica, right? Women's 200, right? Sharika Jackson, Shelly Ann Fraser-Price. Top 2 people from Jamaica, right? Women's 400, right? Pretty impressive stuff there. You look at the 800 with Athing Mu from the USA. Nice to see the USA up there, right? And, you go down the line. But, I think really where it jumps out to me is just Sydney McLaughlin, right? She's spoken to the Amherst track team before. She's an incredible athlete, and her story is unbelievable. She won the women's hurdles in the 400. And, I think people just need to understand how incredible an athlete she is, right? The USA has also performed incredible in the 4x100 meter relay. They can perform incredible in the 4x400 meter relay. And so what does all this mean? It means that the United States has incredible talent, right? It does. And it means that the track programs in the United States have done a great job of developing these athletes and making them prepared. Sydney McLaughlin, her hard work, her ambition, her goals to be great every day, but also her goals to represent her country and do the best she can every day needs to be taken into account, and it's great for women's sports to see it that way. I'm focusing on the women's side of things because I think it's just amazing to see what Jamaica has done and what Sydney McLaughlin has done for the United States. So looking at all that, I didn't answer maybe the full question that Troy was looking for, but I really wanted to focus on those 2 pieces of it, just embracing how amazing Jamaica is and, how they're really, in my opinion, probably the best country when it comes to sprints and short distance racing in the world. I just think that what they train over there is just they're consistently always in that loop and realm of being one of those top teams. So that is number 1. Number 2 is Sydney McLaughlin, really shown a fierce competitiveness. I think also her work ethic, her attitude, and just her success every year is something that any athlete can look onto, regardless of what sport you play, and really embrace it and look at and say, you know what, this person's someone that we should look at as a role model. So that's all incredible stuff. This is my quick little podcast episode for today. I hope you guys enjoy what you've listened to today, and I will be back on sometime probably this weekend with another episode where I'll talk more about some NBA stuff and stuff like that. But this was just a nice little episode to kind of break down some people's thoughts about certain questions they wanted to have me answer. And I answered some of that stuff for you guys. And I hope that those answers satisfy what you guys are looking for. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. And I will see you guys this weekend. Have a great day.